Hey all, it's Jen, and thank you for coming to my channel. I wanted to just dive a little bit deeper into my video yesterday about the quote unquote food plan debacle of a certain YouTuber or wannabe YouTuber that is like short circuiting everything about her channel. The reason why I'm coming on here to talk about this is because I've been in recovery for an eating disorder since 2011. I do not take this stuff lightly at all. I've got 14 years of hard-won recovery from an eating disorder. And I've spent so much time in gyms. I've spent so much time helping people and clearing up these misconceptions. And one of the biggest things about this food plan is how much purchased fast food is on there. Like, I have not purchased a plan. I don't want to even enter in any credentials of any pay thing that this person has. But I'm hearing from people that did purchase it, and feel free to forward it to me, message me if you want, or hit me up on my comments and I will email you and you can send it to me. I'm happy to pick that stuff apart, like piece by piece, and what's wrong and what could possibly be right. Who knows? Miracles can happen. But judging from what I understand, there's a ton of fast food purchases on there. And I'm sorry, if you're buying a lot of food, if you're eating the majority of your food outside of your house, it is going to have way more sodium, way more fat, and much more of a high caloric load than you are anticipating. Any of the ingredients labels that you might find, like if you do a search for Panera food on MyFitnessPal, Carbon, Macro Factor, or any of the other trackers that are out there, God, there's so many. All of those food databases are published by the companies. Like the company Panera will give its nutritional database to like calorieking.com or something like that. So it's what they publish. So let's say one of the lowest calorie things they have is a cup of chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup, I believe, has right around 230 calories, I believe. The fat is decently low on that one. And I'm totally guessing, but I've ordered it enough where I think I'm in a very solid ballpark with that, right? It's between probably 230, 250. That's what Panera says is in a cup of chicken noodle soup. That is not necessarily accounting for any of the variables about how much is put into the bowl. If there was any additives put into that soup after those nutritional information was published. So like just to say that alone, if you're buying food out and you are trying to lose weight, you are running in a hamster wheel. Can it be done? Sure, it can be done. But you could use your time and your nutrition so much more efficiently if you were to make food at home. The other thing that I really cannot stand about this plan and the motivation that this person is putting out there is she's proselytizing like, if you're serious, you'll get it done. I'm not joking around. I did an hour of cardio this morning. I'm doing an hour of cardio tonight. Girl, I'm a bodybuilding competitor. I don't do an hour of cardio daily. I just don't, because it's not necessary. My goals are sustainable. They are long term. It is not about like going for, who's got 2 hours to do cardio? Certainly nobody that's got kids. Not if they care about parenting. Probably not most people that have a full-time job. So I don't know why it works me up the way it does, but it really, really does. There's a ton of misinformation that this particular person is giving out there. And basically what happened is they short-circuited their channel. They realized they actually have something they can talk about because she did lose 100 pounds. And now she thinks because she lost 100 pounds that she is qualified to hand out one single meal plan. One single meal plan. Doesn't matter if you're a 6'5" man or you're a 5'2" woman. This is what you get. one meal plan works for all bodies. It doesn't work for all bodies. That's not how nutrition works. Everything depends on the context of the individual who you are serving. That 6'5" man is going to need a heck of a lot more calories than a 5'2" woman. Just saying. So you need to keep all of these things in mind. And you also want to look at these food plans as if, is there a paywall? Is she trying to sell you something? Is there somehow an MLM service that is in there wrapped in as well? And from what I hear, there could be. I don't know. Again, I didn't purchase it. What I can tell you, all right, so now let's say you want to do a food plan. You want to get a real food plan that is tailored to you. The very first thing anybody you can consult with should ask, do you have any health concerns? What are your goals? What's your timeline? Because that's also really important too. The reason why some of these things are so important is your body metabolically adjusts to the food that you're eating. So basically, I started cutting weights in January, and I was eating around, my maintenance is around 2,500 calories. I started cutting at 2,200 calories. I really wasn't being that adherent to it. So after about a month or so, we cut it to 1,900 calories, started to lose. I stalled out. I metabolically adjusted to the calories that I was taking in. So we had to lower the calories. So the calories got lowered to 1,830. I metabolically adjusted to that after about 4 or 5 weeks. We had to lower the calories. This is why you need a customized food plan, because you need somebody who knows, I think I'm going to pull some carbs. I think I'm going to pull some fat this time. Or the person who's designing your food plan, who you are in constant contact with, will say, all right, we need to pull calories somehow. Do you want to increase your activity, or do you want me to pull some food? These are the conversations that should happen in a legitimate situation where you have a professional or somebody who has been doing this for a long time and is being paid for it. This is what happens. You get a customized food plan that meets your needs, that is appropriate for your body and your goals and your timeline, and it gets adjusted because your body is never static. We're talking about energy consumption. That's all calories are, the calories in, calories out. It's an energy balance. And when your body gets accustomed to having less energy available, you need to pull more of those calories so your body begins to burn off body fat. The heavier you are, believe it or not, the easier this is because your body has a very high threshold. You could just make some minute changes and great things will happen. I have one client who dropped 70 pounds in a year. He did fantastic. And some of the changes we made for his lifestyle had nothing to do with food. But that's what you get when you work with somebody who knows what they're doing and you don't purchase some canned ass plan that you find on the internet. Now, by the way, the plan is for free. At least for now. I'm sure there's a paywall. I'm sure that you get a couple weeks and then you have to pay for more. Please don't get sucked in, people. Please don't get sucked in. I really hope I don't have to do any more of these videos. And you know what? I am happy to do a video on how you could calculate your macros, right? How you can calculate your macros for your goals and how you can methodically do it yourself. It's not rocket science. I mean, it takes some nuance, it takes some understanding, but it's not that hard. It's really not. So, I don't know. I can do a video on how you can calculate your macros. I mean, and you could probably find that on YouTube. It's out there. I could put together a course, but if I take the time to put together a course, I would put together a whole how to lose weight logically course, something like that. If any of you are really interested in that, it would be a purchase thing because I'm worth the time that I put into it. And I put a lot of me into all of the work I do. But it would be closed off. It would be a course, a video course, probably on school or Teachable or something like that with a close community. But figuring out your macros and figuring out how to diet, it does not have to be that hard. And you certainly do not need to get sucked in to buying specific food. You don't have to. I make almost all of my food. I leave my house with a lunchbox that has breakfast, 2 lunches, sometimes dinner, 2 pieces of fruit. Sometimes I do have a protein bar in there. I absolutely love them, so I do have them in my food plan until I have to cut them when my body metabolically adjusts to the calorie content that I have. So I eat all my own food, and when I don't eat my food, I see the difference. Like, yes, you can lose weight eating fast food, but is that the kind of body composition you want? Like, just think about that. If you want to lose weight, it's not just about losing fat. You want to develop muscle as well, right? If you have a lot of fat to lose, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. If you don't have a lot of fat to lose, that's a much harder battle. But my suggestion always is we diet first, then we build muscle. That's always what I do. So I came out of a bulking season. And when I say bulking, like I had a surplus of 300 calories a day. Like I was 10 pounds heavier than I am now. Like that's as big or as thick as I got during my bulking season. But specifically working hard to develop my legs, develop my hamstrings, and all the things that I saw as weaknesses in my physique. You can develop those aspects of your body. You just have to train for it and you have to eat for it. And there's so much that is being left out by this individual, and it just makes me so very mad. Just so mad. All right. So if you work with somebody, like I said, expect questions like, do you have any health issues? What's your goal? What's your timeline? Is there any food intolerances? Are you willing to work out? What type of working out are you willing to do? Are you only going to do cardio? Or are you going to get in the gym? Or are you going to lift? Do you know how to lift? Like these are all the things that needs to be said. All right. Like I said, it would not burn me up as much if I did not have a ton of personal experience with disordered eating and behaviors around food and exercise. Telling people to get on the treadmill for 2 hours because you're serious and you're not playing games is reckless and unhealthy and will hurt people. You can hype people up, you can get them excited, and that's a lovely thing when you get people excited and you inspire them. But you have to be responsible with that. Like, I'm going to go old school Marvel Uncle Ben with great power comes great responsibility. If you have thousands of followers, you are responsible to those followers to be a good role model. Do better.